Hello everyone, this is Kaustav Mathur from Arika Real Estate, and today we'll be diving deep into the world of real estate in Dubai. We'll be going over the process, the taxes, the visas, and I'll try to give you the best possible picture of the entire Dubai real estate market. A lot of the investors from all around the world desire and dream of investing or owning a home in Dubai. But everybody is so confused. There is so much misinformation out there. You don't know where it starts, you don't know where it ends. And today I'll be trying to answer all the questions that you might have before choosing the right property for you. So we'll be going over the processes, the taxes, the visas, and I'll give you the real estate market picture, the real picture. First of all, we'll be going over the buying process. From you deciding on a unit to the unit getting handed over, how the process actually looks like. Second, we'll go over the tax structure. It's very important. The first thing that you hear when you hear the word Dubai is taxes. It's tax free. But how does the tax structure actually work in Dubai? It's very important for all the investors to know. Third is investment linked visas. I cannot emphasize of how important it is to have all the information about visas, the investor visa, the golden visa, and the retirement visas, how it actually works. And number four is the real estate market picture. As I mentioned prior, there is so much misinformation about the real estate market on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter. So it becomes very important to have someone who will give you the right information, the real picture, and not just the good news or what an agent thinks an investor wants to hear. Sometimes it's good news and sometimes it's bad news, and it's very important to have someone who gives you the entire picture of how your investment will work. Starting off, let's look at the off-plan buying process. Number one is define and shortlist. This is very important because this is generally the discovery call, where we look at all the possible options that you get in Dubai according to your budget and according to your investment needs. All the investors have different goals. Maybe you're looking for a monthly cash flow kind of project. Maybe you're looking for capital appreciation. Maybe you want to buy a home and then pass it on to your future generations. So define and shortlist works like that. Second is reserving the unit. We have to sign the developer's reservation form and pay the booking amount, which is typically from 5% to 10%. The EOI amount, which is the expression of interest amount, is generally 2%, but the booking amount varies from 5% to 10% depending on the developer. So that is the second step. We shortlist what we want to buy, and the second is we reserve the unit by paying the reservation fee. Third process is signing the SPA. SPA stands for Sales and Purchase Agreement. This is a long agreement which will have all the information about your unit, how the payment plan works, and every information that is disclosed to you. This is a long agreement, and I always tell all the investors to go through this SPA very nicely. And this is basically the entire construction linked agreement that you will sign. And after you are set that okay, this SPA works for you, this unit works for you, then you sign on the SPA, and we move on to the fourth step, which is the Uqud registration. This is basically an official form by the DLD department that they recognize that this transaction has taken place. The unit is registered on the DLD interim register, giving the buyer legal title during the construction. So after Uqud registration, you are the legal owner of that property, that apartment, that penthouse, that villa, whatever you have bought. After the Uqud registration, it's officially in your name. You can say this is kind of a pre-title deed, in layman terms. Fifth is construction payments. So generally in off-plan, you get payment plans, which is 80-20, 60-40, 40-60. So according to whatever is agreed upon in the SPA, you will be paying the construction payments every single 3 months, 6 months, or again, whatever is agreed upon with the developer. So these construction payments happen till the time of handover, and then there will be a big chunk of amount that you will be paying at the time of handover. So for example, if it's 60-40, 60% you will be paying in accordance to your payment plan, and at the handover, for example, let's say it's in the next 3 years, after 3 years you will be paying the remaining 40%. So 60% during construction and 40% at the time of handover. This 60-40 was just an example. As I said, it really depends on developer to developer and what you agree upon. Number 6, the very important step, handover and the title deed. On completion, wherever it is supposed to be handed over, you get the unit is officially handed over to you. The title deed, the official title deed is made, and you sign the title deed, and now the fully ownership is registered to you according to the DLD. So these are the 6 steps, from defining and shortlisting to reserving the units. Then you sign the SPA, you get the UKUD registration, you pay during the construction whatever payment plan has been decided upon, and then the 6th step is the unit gets handed over to you and the title deed is signed and the process ends. Now we'll go over what it actually costs, because many times people would say, oh, this is all it costs, this is the price, but you have to take into consideration every little aspect of how much you will be paying. For example, there is a mandatory 4% DLD fees, transfer fee. DLD, as I said, stands for Dubai Land Department. This is an official government body by the Dubai government. Every transaction needs to pay a 4% fee to the DLD. Now, many times developers offer a waiver of 4%. So if that is something that's agreed upon between you and the developer, you get a 4% DLD waiver. So basically, on your behalf, the developer will pay the 4% to the DLD. The DLD fees is mandatory. Either you pay it or the developer pays it. But if you agree with the developer, many times the developer pays the 4% for you. But again, it's very important to go through all these details with your developer before signing the SPA. Second, as I mentioned, is the booking amount, which is generally 5 to 10%. Again, it is subject to change from project to project, developer to developer. The 4,000 is the admin, the registration fee, which is a fixed registration fee. It varies from property value to property value. Now the 2% agency commission, this is very important. Everybody thinks that we have to pay a commission to the agency. In off-plan, that's not how it works. The agency gets paid by the developer. So if you're investing via an agency, you don't have to worry about any commissions to the agency. The agency gets paid by the developer. And the best part is, if you buy through an agency or directly from the developer, the price of the unit stays the same. That's what I tell to all my investors, that you come to the agency, we will find the best unit for you with the best possible developer, and you don't even have to pay us any commission. So it's a win-win situation for us, as well as, more importantly, for the investors. You are getting the best guidance possible for absolutely, basically for free. So no agency commission for off-plan projects. Moving on, very important, let's go over the tax structure for buyers and investors. As you might be aware, Dubai, flexes that it has 0% taxes, and that's true. It has 0% annual property tax, 0% capital gains tax. Capital gains tax, you are aware, you get in almost every country out there. And there is 0% personal income tax on rent. So even if you own rent, when you have a tenant and you're earning monthly cash flow via rent, you still don't have to pay anything to the Dubai government. As I mentioned, there is a fee. This is not a tax. There is a 4% DLD transfer fee which you have to pay. Again, as I said, either you pay it or sometimes in some offers, the developer pays it. There is a 5% VAT. There are exemptions, but this is a 5% VAT that all residential sales and leases are generally VAT exempt. But VAT can also apply to commercial property and to agency and service fees. So again, go over to how much VAT, the 5% VAT, if you will be paying that or not. Ninth is the corporate tax. So this basically applies to income earned through a licensed UAE business. So businesses do get taxed, which is 9% corporate tax that businesses need to pay. This is basically not to individuals, buying in their own names. So it has to be a licensed UAE registered business or a corporate holding structure, and there is a 9% corporate tax that you need to pay to the Dubai government. Coming to the visas linked with your property investment, again, one of the biggest questions that I get is regarding the visas. How much do I need to pay to be eligible for a visa, and this and that. So initially, before 2026, the minimum threshold to get a property investor visa was 750,000 dirhams. So you buy a property worth 750,000 dirhams, and then you are eligible for a 2-year investor visa. But now Dubai government has removed that. Now the minimum threshold to be eligible for a 2-year investor visa is only 300,000 dirhams. Only 300,000 dirhams. And if you're buying it with someone, like your joint owners, the threshold becomes 400,000. So if you're an individual owner, you buy a property worth 300,000 or more than 300,000, you are eligible for a property investor visa, which is eligible for 2 years. That's very important. Many people think that you need to pay the entire amount to be eligible for the visa, but that is not the case. According to your payment plan, after you pay the down payment, the SPA is signed, you get the Okud registration. After that, you get eligible for the investor visa and the golden visa as well. So you don't have to pay the entire amount. You pay the down payment, you pay the DLD fee, you sign the SPA, the Okud is registered, and after that you are eligible for the visa. Moving on to the golden visa, the most famous visa in the world. Everybody wants to have a golden visa. Golden visa is basically a 10 years residency visa that you get, and there are many perks linked to golden visa. You get a 10-year residency, you get to sponsor your spouse, your children, even your parents. You can also sponsor maids and drivers, and you get basically the most premium treatment in the entire UAE if you own a golden visa. Now the threshold for a golden visa is 2 million dirhams. 2 million dirhams worth of property you must buy in order to be eligible for a 2 million a golden visa. Now this 2 million can be one property or multiple properties. For example, you buy 2 units of 1 million and 1 million each. So again, you're still eligible for the golden visa. So the total amount should be 2 million and plus. Again, you don't have to pay the 2 million right off the bat to be eligible for it. You pay the down payment, you pay the DLD fee, you sign the SPA, you get the Okud, and after that you are eligible for the golden visa as well. Number 3rd is retirement visa, which is a 5-year visa, and this is for applicants who are 55 and beyond, like above, and the minimum is 1 million in qualifying property investment. So you need a minimum investment of 1 million dirhams, and after that you will be eligible for a retirement visa. This is good for a long-term resident who are planning to retire off in Dubai or in UAE. This is a great visa option for them as well. So property investor visa, 300,000 is the threshold. For golden visa, 2 million, and retirement visa, it's 1 million for people aged 55 and above. Okay, so now let's talk about the real picture. Everybody's asking me what does the real estate market look like now in 2026. So I have some data to go over to let you know what is the real picture. So as you can see, 6.1% have the prices rose for residential prices year on year in April 2026. So prices of residential units is still going up. By the way, this is official data. I'm not making this up. So citywide residential price index, the prices have gone up about 6.1% up to April 2026. Talking about villas, Now in Dubai, villas are, you know, the new thing. A lot of villas and townhouse communities are coming. So for villas, there is a 9.9% increase. Villas have outperformed the apartments in every segment, and as you can see, it's almost 9.9%. Talking about the total sales value in 2026 in the first half is around 286 billion dirhams. That is near to the record place. You know, everybody was thinking that, oh, the Dubai market is slowing down and this and that. Now, this is the official data that I'm telling you. 286 billion dirhams worth of sales value in just the first half of 2026. Now, again, see, in real estate, it's very okay, it's very normal to have some slowdowns. You know, there are cycles, there are, you know, short-term monthly cool downs. That's completely okay. But citywide, year on year, prices are still higher, not lower, as you can go through this slide. 6.1% residential prices have gone up. For villas, it's 9.9%, and the total sales value for the entire Dubai is 286 billion dirhams. Now, here's what here's what I believe should be the outlook for the investors. You know, what you should be watching. Number one is incoming supply. An estimated of 200 to 300,000 new units are planned to come till 2028, with a large share landing in 2026 to 2027. So in the next 1 year, there's a lot of units that will be coming. You know, easing the pressure for high supply areas. So a lot of units, you have a lot of choices to choose from. Number two, moderating, not reversing. Analysts broadly project full year 2026 growth in the 4 to 8% range. So that's what the analysts believe, that there will be a growth of around 4 to 8%, slower than the post 2020 boom, but it is still positive considering whatever is going on. Number three is segment divergence. Villas and townhouses continue to outperform apartments. As I mentioned in the previous slide, the villas have seen a growth of 9.9% compared to apartments. So again, villas and townhouse communities are the emerging residential units in Dubai, and you know, they are continuously outperforming apartments. However, the villas and townhouse communities are still very limited in Dubai. So low density supply for villas and townhouses. And number four, the most important point, location still leads. Where you buy matters more than anything. Downtown, Palm Jumeirah, and other supply constrained central districts are expected to hold their value. There are emerging locations in Dubai. For example, Palm Jebel Ali, you have the Dubai South, you have Dubai Creek Harbour. These are some of the locations that are still in the developing stage, and they have a long way to go. While locations like downtown and Palm Jumeirah, they hold their status, they hold their value even today. There's still growth happening in those locations. So Palm Jebel Ali, which is the biggest man-made island, Dubai Creek Harbour, which is said to be the downtown 2.0, with the Creek Tower, with the Icon Tower coming in, with the Imar Square Mall coming in. A lot of growth opportunities still exist in Dubai in these areas. So again, whenever you're investing, location has to be a priority. Now, I really hope that you found this webinar useful. If you have any questions whatsoever after this webinar, please let us talk us through your specific goals, budget, what timeline, what visa you're looking for, and reach out to Arika Real Estate, and we are here 24/7 to help any investor with their investment decision regarding Dubai real estate. Thank you so much for watching this webinar, and I'll see you in the next one.